Hello, everybody, and welcome to SHEEN Magazine's SHEEN Hot Tea. I am your co-host, Laura Miller, and I'm here with these fantastic, wonderful women of distinction, my co-host, Tia Burrows and Nikita Nietzsche. Hey, y'all.
Hi.
Hey. And again, for SHEEN Hot Tea, we are here to bring you the best in pop culture, entertainment, beauty, fashion, and politics and music, of course. So today is a great day to be watching because you're going to have so much tea, you're not going to be able to stand it. So if you do not have a cup handy, go grab yourself one. Today is a smooth day for me. It's just going to be water, but I'm going to drink it like it's piping hot nonetheless. We have so much to share, but before we get into it, I want you guys to do me a favor and close your eyes, take a deep breath, and know that the majority of the headlines that we will be telling you about today, Black people are not at fault. It's not us. So we're going to get started with entertainment news. Nikita has so much to tell us. So what's up, sis? What do you have for us today?
Listen, I'm going to go ahead and take a sip before I get started because this tea that I have for you all today, trust me, it is piping hot. Yes. That's delicious. Okay, so we're going to take the first one on over to Chicago, and we're going to talk a little bit about R. Kelly, all right? It was R. Kelly's birthday last week. So over the weekend, R. Kelly dropped a series of new singles, right? One titled Not Supposed to Be, that was kind of telling. I'm going to be honest with you. And then the other one was called Shooter, but that's not the tea, okay?
Okay.
What the tea was R. Kelly. He got over 195,000 views. And I took the time because I'm the type of person that, you know, if I look on if it's a hot comment on social media, I read all the comments. If it's a hot post, I read the comments on YouTube, and guess what? People was rocking with it. So I was like, okay, you know, is the world ready to forgive R. Kelly? You know, I mean, I get it. The song is nice, but is the world really ready to forgive R. Kelly? Now, also, you know, Sex and the City, the hit TV show from the 90s and the early 2000s.
Yes, my joint.
Yes, the ladies have made a comeback. You'll be seeing Carrie, you'll see Miranda, you'll see Charlotte. Unfortunately, it is being said that Samantha will not return. So unfortunately, ladies, we will not see our little vixen that likes to get her rocks off, if you know what I mean. So I don't know what happened. I don't know what the tea is, but you know your girl is going to get the tea for you. So stay tuned on that.
I heard that there are some behind the scenes issues with
I heard
Samantha.
for years the character that plays Carrie and the character that plays Samantha, they just really don't rock together. But I'm gonna find out what's going on, because I mean, it has to be something pretty big for Samantha to turn down her coins, because the Sex and the City TV show was quite huge, and it came 2 movies from it. Now, aside from that, I'm hoping I can see a Girlfriends movie in the near future. Okay.
Listen, before we even get to Girlfriends, I just cannot wait to see what Miss Sarah Jessica Parker is going to wear on this show.
Sarah Jessica Parker inspired my entire.
We're talking about fashion and beauty, like those ladies, regardless to what the storyline is, how many children they have now, because there's no telling, and like what's going on, like they come to slay every single episode. So I am looking forward to that for sure. Now, Nikita, you know, you went kind of quickly on kills. I'd like to discuss that to say this. One, humans are nosy. So I believe that he has 197,000 views because we are nosy, because the last time that he decided to release something that was unreleased or unmentioned was that 21-minute song that he did a couple of years ago. I'll admit it, I did it or whatever. So it's likely that the people were looking for some type of foretelling of information, or just giving us some tea about what he had going on in his personal life and how hard prison was and how he got beat up. And I don't think any of that was in the song. So I don't think he mentioned any of those things.
He gave up a little tea. Like, he kept saying little stuff like, I'm not supposed to be here. You know, he gave up a little. You know, R. Kelly always going to do some subliminals. He a Capricorn. He petty.
You know what? I'm just any Capricorns in the room.
Yes.
Yes, she is. And
I
she's
just,
here.
me personally, with the whole R. Kelly thing, I was a huge R. Kelly fan when I was younger. But it's hard for me to separate his acts from his music. And I know that that's not the case. You know, a lot of people, you know, I have friends that still support his music because they're able to separate it. I personally am not able to do that. So when I listen to that song, the song isn't bad, but all I'm hearing in my mind is, you know, I felt icky because I felt like I'm listening to music from a man that has touched children. So I'm good.
And I actually agree with you. That was my take on it as well, because me personally, it was like I listened because I am a media professional and I report the entertainment news. But I hate that I liked it. I'm not even gonna lie to you. R. Kelly is a musical freaking genius, but he just makes you feel dirty listening to it. Ugh.
There used to be a time where there would be certain songs that I would be okay to listen to. Like, for example, World's Greatest is one of my favorite R. Kelly songs. And just to let you guys know, watching, Nikita and I are from Chicago. So, I mean, you know, we know them all. We've heard them all. And World's Greatest just pumps me up. It makes me happy. But it's like, even now I listen to it, I'm like, yeah, I do see the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, Kels, but I'm just straight. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you know, the question is not what can be done or what has he done. The question is, as Nikita asked, can we move forward? Are we able to enact cognitive dissonance and separate his music from the person and his actions? And unfortunately, there are certain songs that are sexually charged in nature that are almost impossible for you to do that. You will feel disgusted. So I support Tia's understanding there for sure. So Tia, Nikita, what else do you have for us?
Next thing, Bridgerton, the Netflix hit series. It made records. It debuted on Christmas. It's the Shonda Rhimes thing. She did some amazing stuff. 8 years. They just signed her for 8 years. So Shonda Rhimes will be collecting the bloody coins for the next 8 years. Now I'm gonna quickly get into some relationship tea. Okay. So we got LaToya Luckett and her husband, Tommy Walker. They went ahead and announced that they're gonna go ahead and get a divorce. Okay. So as you know, there was some rumors some months back about Tommy cheating. Apparently, LaToya probably found out they were true. So sis said, look, I'm out. But that is not the relationship tea of the week. The relationship tea of the week is Harvey. Lori Harvey. Saint Lori Harvey has landed the most eligible
Did you just
bachelor.
give her sainthood just
now? She's been dubbed.
She has landed the most eligible
you know what? I think that my guitar saw that coming and it just couldn't hang. It just wasn't ready. Go ahead, keep talking.
So Lori Harvey has landed Hollywood's the it guy. She had landed one of the most eligible bachelors. Yes, guys, you know, once they posted on social media, it is official. Lori Harvey, Michael B. Jordan, and they have sent Hollywood, they have sent Black Twitter, they have sent everyone into a uproar, whether it's good, bad, you support it, love it, hate it. They a lot of people are talking about Lori Harvey in a good or bad way. Okay, period. They're talking. The problem is a lot of people are saying that Lori Harvey is kind of all over the place with her dating history. I personally think that she is 24 years old. She's 24 years old and she is being courted by some very powerful men. Okay, so I can't necessarily say that I disagree with the way she's handling her business, because it's not confirmed that she's sleeping with any of these guys. In fact, Lori has not posted any of these guys. The only guy that she ever posted on her social media page, or even claimed that she even knew, for that matter, is Michael B. Jordan. So I'm here for the movement.
I mean, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that she's being discredited or judged or heralded or vice versa, because I seem to recall Taylor Swift having a lot of boyfriends. I mean, a lot of boyfriends.
And she made a song about every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
I'm just saying. So what can we say? What can we say? But speaking of relationships, I want to give a shout out to my boyfriend. I want to give a shout out to my boyfriend. Over the weekend, baby decided that he wanted to he did my eyebrows for me. I guess I was moving too slow to get out of the house. And he helped me by doing my eyebrows. So, take a look, guys. Let me know what you think.
I think Bae did a good job. Tia, what do you think? Do you think Bae slammed it? I think he slammed it.
I think Nikita was brave. You were brave.
Hey, listen, if Nikita can't use her hands for some specific reason, and Bae just needs to come through in the clutch to make sure her face is beat enough to come outside.
Yeah, he made it happen.
I think it was a good try.
I mean, he was giving me McDonald Arch energy. I'm not even gonna lie.
Yeah,
but baby did great. I love you, baby.
Right? It might be reminiscent of the Golden Arches, but I still find it to be pretty cool. I think you tried.
Well, listen, we're gonna take this a little bit over to the beauty industry. Tia, what you got for us?
Yes, let's talk beauty. So this week, guys, one of the biggest things in beauty, the Kamala Harris Vogue cover. So apparently the cover of this magazine did leak over the weekend. Mm-hmm. And people are kind of having some mixed feelings about it. So in case you're not familiar with Vogue, it is it's known for being a beauty publication. It's an infamous beauty publication. On the cover of this magazine, Kamala is wearing this cute little black jacket, black pants, white t-shirt, Chuck Taylors, and she has her pink and green to represent the almighty, aka sorority, behind her. So some people are kind of having some mixed feelings. They're feeling like it was disrespectful to the colors. They're feeling like maybe she should have dressed it up a little bit more, since Vogue is such a staple, I guess, in the beauty publication industry. And they're feeling like maybe she was pandering a little bit. So I personally, from the standpoint of someone that's read Vogue for so long, I can understand why they would have wanted her to dress it up a little bit more. But she said that she was staying true to who she was on her campaign trail. That's how she dressed. That's what she was comfortable in. So if the goal was to represent who she was, then I think, then that's what happened. But the editor-in-chief, Anna Wintour, did come to her defense, and she said that she felt like it was an accurate representation of Kamala and who she was. So what do you guys think about that? Do you think it's a big deal? Especially with
I think people wanted to see Kamala dolled up because she is a beautiful woman, and she's got a statuesque personality. She might be, I guess, maybe to her credit, she might think she's a little bit more casual in her personhood. But I think that for it to be a Vogue cover, for you to be the first female vice president, the first Black woman, all those things, it should be an opulent display, because Vogue is very capable, and all of their photographers are just as capable to shine her in the way that doesn't look like Kamala on a campaign trail. We have plenty of pictures of you, sis, on this campaign trail. Of course, I'll still buy it because she's on it. But at the same time, it's like, I would have wanted more. And I think if Beyonce said, I want to do this Vogue cover in some sweats and a beater and some high heels, because that's how I dress when I rehearse on Sundays, and the Wintour would have discreet.
You would have a slew of people. Not only editorial wouldn't have said anything, you'd have had a slew of people walking around with heels and sweatpants and a tank top on. Me personally, I think that I get what the public opinion is saying about Kamala, right? I get it. I think they wanted to see her dolled up, like pretty much like Laura said. However, I think that she was still staying true to herself. They picked her for a reason, and she basically displayed what she stood for. She's an AKA. She had on her pearls. They rocked her pink and green. She was known for her chucks throughout the entire campaign. And to be honest, it made a lot of it a selling point. I feel that she should have done another picture wearing her Timbs.
Okay. So do you feel like the pink and green behind her, do you feel like that was disrespectful? Because I'm seeing a lot of people say that they think that was disrespectful. Do you think that was disrespectful?
I'm pretty sure you can't find an AKA in the world that will find what had happened being disrespectful. I think they were paying homage to her roots. They did. Now, I think it would have been disrespectful if they'd have put the letters up, because the editors at Vogue are not AKAs. I don't know. They could be, but you know, for sake of public opinion, I think that probably would have came off a little disrespectful. I personally wasn't offended by it. I think Kamala looked great. I get what they did. I get where they wanted to kind of cater to her public persona. That is what she stands for. She's a very vocal member of the AKA sorority.
Right. And shout out to all of our AKAs, by the way. So next, we're going to talk about the pandemic and the beauty industry. So, of course, we know we're going to be having our new administration come in and take office soon. So the possibility of a shutdown is highly likely, especially considering the numbers are astronomical when it comes to COVID, because people just won't put on a mask to save their lives. So the beauty industry, all businesses really are kind of hard hit, when more than kind of hard hit by the pandemic, but the beauty and beauty service industry especially. So a lot of people are nervous about, what are we going to do? This is how we put food on our tables for our families. So how are we going to, what are we going to do to make ends meet? So just in kind of doing some reading, kind of doing a little bit of a study, I guess you can say, and talking to some people in that industry. So we have some tips for you. So I have one of the biggest ones they're saying to make sure you stock up on products. You have products to provide to your customers for self-care at home. That way you can, make sure your customers are taken care of, and you can also, add that as an additional stream of income. Also, they're saying to find a way to connect with your clients virtually. So if you're able to teach a class, or just look for some creative ways to stay connected with your customers so you don't lose them, when the world does open back up, and you can kind of help them to stay beautiful and fabulous, just like they did when they were able to come in. And lastly, here we're going to talk about, since we're talking about the pandemic,
natural. Oh, wait. Before we even go, I would like to send I'm going to miss you to my spa that I found out recently is permanently closed.
Oh,
my spa that takes care of all of my needs gone. This is what the pandemic has done for a lot of businesses, large and small. Yeah. So it's wonderful that you were able to provide those tips. You definitely we always want to ensure that small businesses have the opportunity, because the pandemic has presented so many unique challenges for people. So again, I'm going to miss you, Egia and Evanston. I'm going to miss you.
Yeah, I can totally relate, because as the owner of a business in the beauty industry myself, I know it's been, calendar's been kind of dry. So I can understand, I can relate. But so we're going to move on to natural hair care. So in the pandemic, a lot of people are either transitioning to natural hair care because they can't get into their stylist, or they're wanting to learn ways to maintain their natural hair at home. Braids are a huge thing. Sew-ins are a huge thing to protect your hair. But of course, you can't get into your stylist. You probably can't get a sew-in. But
unless you're like me and you just do it all yourself.
Well, we're not all as talented as you are with the hands, with the hair.
It's just YouTube, y'all. Just YouTube.
But we have some great natural hair care products that we want to tell you about. If you're lucky enough to get an appointment to get a blowout, which is one of the most popular natural hair care styles, if you want that silky look while you're doing natural, to kind of make it last so you don't have to come out so often, the Nairobi foam wrap, the Nairobi Sheer Shine, and the Shape and Hold. Those are 3 products that are excellent for maintaining your natural hair care if you're going to do that blowout. So you can extend it, give you a little bit more shelf life, hair life. So those are some tips for maintaining hair care. And lastly, just one last thing, if we're talking about beauty, let's talk about fashion. I don't know who's really getting dressed up to go anywhere these days, but if you are.
If you're doing the Bust It challenge, you're getting dressed up.
Well, if you're going to dress up to do the Bust It challenge, get you some coordinates, because coordinates are a huge thing. You can get more bang for your buck. So pretty much you're able to mix and match. Pandemic, kind of has people squeezing their dollars for dear life. So that way you can get some pieces, kind of mix and match. You can be comfortable at home if you still want to get cute, do your virtual meetings and everything. So you can get maybe 6-7 pieces and kind of mix them up and get some different looks. So how have you guys been staying cute during the pandemic?
Well, first and foremost, darling, I want to say, I want to definitely send some love and prayers. I heard what you said about your business. You're a business owner doing in the beauty industry during the pandemic. So, whatever we can do to continue to
For
promote you
sure.
and make sure that we taking care of our girl, first and foremost,
Absolutely.
we're going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like staying home and staying cute during the pandemic, and we're doing a lot of Zoom meetings, I've made loungewear my friends, but you have to be careful with that because the loungewear have a lot of stretch. Okay, so which means
Going
when
in.
you're eating, you know what I mean, you're not gonna catch as fast as you're gaining that weight. So we have to just make sure that we are all on point with that. Can I drink to that?
Go ahead, girl. Drink to
Yes,
that.
be mindful of your waistline. The sweatpants are forgiving, ladies and gentlemen. They forgive. And as far as how am I staying cute, honestly, I feel like at this point, Amazon should give me an endorsement.
Yes, they should.
I mean, they take care of me. I take care of them. It is give and take. I am business at the top, casual at the bottom. And that's how we live our lives in quarantine. I haven't worn shoes to a meeting in quite some time. So let's just marinate on that. Shoes are important. I haven't had no need to buy them. I mean, yeah, absolutely not.
Yeah. All right. So, Laura, what do we have in politics for this week? I know we have a whole lot.
So much to discuss in politics, ladies. I hope you guys have your seatbelts, and I hope you guys have been taking your deep breaths because there's a lot going on all day, every day, right about now. So let's just get started and talk about June 6th. I'm sorry, what month is it? January 6th. And I don't want that edited out because I want you guys to understand how incredibly insane this world is that you don't even know what month we're in. It is 2021, and this event actually occurred on January 6th of 2021, real fresh into the new year, of course. There was a Donald Trump rally in which he and Rudy Giuliani and a bunch of other of these, very conservative, riled up, pitchfork having Republicans came and showed up and made sure that everybody that was in support of Donald Trump and that believed that the election was false and rigged took themselves to the Capitol and stormed it and trashed it and made it so that the vote on the finalizing of the electoral vote confirmation could not go as planned. It was shortly interrupted for the period of time that these people came and put their feet on Nancy Pelosi's desk and threw things and came in dressed like Vikings with face masks and a whole bunch of mess. So we're going to pause right there because I'm going to know what my girls think and how you guys dealt with it. Because to me, it looked like we were watching World War Z in real time and not the United States. What did it look like to y'all?
Complete madness. Complete madness.
It was a mess.
It was a mess. And when I have small children and, my 7-year-old asked me, I still don't know how do I explain that to a 7-year-old. So I'm speechless. It was such an ultimate display of disrespect. It's unbelievable. It's unfathomable. And I'm speechless. I don't even know what to say. What do you think, Nikita?
I totally agree with you, actually. My 10-year-old son, he was in tears. He cried. And he just asked, he said, why do they act like that? Why are they acting like that? And I had to actually explain to him the entire process. So I had to turn this tragedy, because that's what it was, into a history lesson and educate my children on, unfortunately, this is America, but you don't be that way. How do you have that conversation with your kid,
You know what's crazy is I actually wrote so I've been instrumental in political journalism for a while, right? And when Donald Trump was elected, I wrote one blog specifically about how to tell my child that the bad guy won. And before we go any further, I would like to say that the views that we will be expressing throughout this episode and all of our remaining episodes are based on the thoughts of Nikita and Tia and myself and do not represent SHEEN Magazine directly. So what I will say is I had to inform my child, he was a lot younger, obviously, he's a big boy now. I had to inform him that oftentimes, although we say be nice, don't disrespect people, don't make fun of the disabled, don't violate anybody. Somebody that may have done all of these things is now the president of the United States. So for the last 5 years, it's just been a continuing practice to ensure that our children are cognizant that although we have taught them to behave in a certain way, there are sometimes instances where there are exceptions to that rule, and those exceptions have dire consequences, like Capitol storming and 5 people being killed and potentially being impeached twice. There are a lot of things that have occurred as a result of this bad behavior. And as it relates to the behavior, it has continued. President Trump ensured that he addressed the looters or rioters, and he made sure at the end of the message that he posted on Twitter, he told them that he loved them. However, I'm sure both of you can recall that when they were protesting in July for Black Lives Matter, for the death of a man who was murdered live for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, which is the time that the man's knee was in his neck. He said that anybody that defaced any property or tore down any monuments should be fully federally prosecuted with the fullest extent of the law and should receive up to 10 years in prison. However, these people who are in support of Donald Trump were told to go home and that we love you. This is the current climate that we live in. There are things that are happening outside of our control, but what I will say about the Capitol incident is the electoral vote confirmation was able to proceed. So we did have the opportunity to get that taken care of. Mike Pence was present, as Nancy Pelosi and all of the House of Representatives were able to come back. I'm under the assumption that since the majority of the protesters were unmasked, they took a considerable amount of time cleaning up and deep cleaning because these people had no masks on. This was a super spreader event overload, right? And there was a young man, a security officer, Eugene Goodman, who pretty much saved the day, y'all. Did y'all see Mr. Eugene running and fighting for justice and being chased by these people up these stairs? This Black man running for his life, all while on the walkie-talkie saving people. Did you see it?
Yes. I mean, it warmed my heart to see. And I mean, I particularly appreciated how did y'all peep? Like, I saw a video. It was a video after the math, after the fact. And, you didn't really notice like during the, as it was happening, although I was watching it sort of real time, so to speak. But when he came up the stairs, he was walking backwards. He looked into the Senate chamber. He noticed that the Congress people, as well as a lot of senators, had not, and the vice president, by the way, had not been secured yet. So what he did was he pushed one of the terrorist protesters, and then they all chased him. So he literally put his life on the line to save others. Now, I'm going to say this, not only the senators and the Congress people should be appreciative, but I'm gonna tell you something. This is still the United States of America. So he saved those protester lives as well, because you already know, had they gone in there to try to take a senator, what would have happened?
Yeah. You know what? I would say that, but what I can say is I know what would have happened if they were a marginalized group of protesters.
Oh, for sure.
If they would have went into Congress and did that. Because what you will see in the visuals that are put before you, there are stark differences as far as what's okay and what is not okay when it comes to certain groups that are labeled as extremists and some that are labeled as friends etc. So also in a latest update, we are currently in the process of awaiting Congress's decision to determine if they're going to impeach the president. Again, he would be the first president ever in the history of presidency who would be impeached twice. That's interesting to be known for such a thing. However, here we are, right? Also, I would like to send a big shout out to Black Twitter, who made sure that everything that was covered was fantastically comedic, and it helped because I too was stressed. So it definitely helped me out. And in addition to that, I was made more pleased by the show of display unanimously in the media about the egregiousness of these events and how they've transpired. I was also pleased when I found out that the president had been removed from all social media platforms. And then I took a peek at Fox and Friends and I saw how incredibly distraught those people were about losing Twitter followers. They're so upset, you guys. They're losing friends. They don't know what to do.
This is crazy.
It's interesting.
It is.
I mean, again, there's so many things that are going on. Like, I don't even want to belabor the point with you guys. I just want to know more of how are you guys coping through this time as far as everybody's watching? How are you holding up? Is this, I mean, you know, we can say that it's not our problem, but if we're being frank, that building was built by us. Them tables was built by us. We can feel a way about somebody coming in our house. We can feel a way about it because we have now the youngest senator in Georgia and the first Black African-American senator in Georgia. And we ensure that all of the voting power that we could possibly muster was brought to bring what we wanted. And now it's being sullied by people who would like to be in prison with all organic diets.
That's
such
crazy.
as our friend, what's his name, Nikita? What's the guy's name? This gentleman, while I find him, Jacob Chansley, who was the young man with the Viking hat and the red and blue face paint during the Capitol protest or during the Capitol riot, because that's what we're going to call it. He's been in prison, and his mom has said that he had not eaten in several days because he can only eat organic food. She has recently provided an update that's stipulated that he has now received the organic diet that he required, and he's eating again. What did Sandra Bland ask for? What she want to eat?
Man, listen.
See, because again, like I said, these views are especially mine. Forget Nakia and Tia for a moment. These are mine. What did they ask Sandra Bland to eat? Again, there are numerous people and a number of names that can be called, and we can relate this instance to the riots that occurred after Abraham Lincoln was elected president, which was some of the things that started and fueled the Civil War. But to be honest, I don't want to worry you guys any further than we're already doing. You know what I mean? I want to talk about something really cool like music. Can we talk about it?
Let's do it.
Great. Okay, so I don't really have a lot for you guys today because, like I said, I was inundated with politics, so I was stuck there, okay? But one thing I do have for you, Jasmine Sullivan.
Oh, yes.
Jasmine Sullivan released a cultural masterpiece last week called Hotels, spelled Heaux, okay? And it includes tracks with Ari Lennox and interludes with Ari Lennox. It's got her on it. There was a tiny desk that aired live last week, and her and Jasmine Sullivan performed live. Like, it is an educational in the freedom of Black women and their sexuality. And gosh darn it, I'm here for it. Have you ladies heard it?
Come on now, and it came in the week of Lori Harvey.
Right? Perfect timing. She was on time with that one. She did what she came to do with that one. I I loved it. I love Jasmine Sullivan, but yeah, I felt like it was very liberating. Like you said, definitely empowering for women, because there's such a double standard when it comes to men and women and what we're allowed to say versus what they're allowed to say. So I thought it was liberating, and I loved it. And good job, awesome job. I loved it.
It was perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing, this one was a little odd though. The Weeknd had posted something on Instagram with his face that looked like he had had aggressive plastic surgery towards his face. But we later found out that they were prosthetics for a music video after everybody had to like contain themselves because they were so concerned, like what happened to the Weeknd. And the single is called Save Your Tears. And it's kind of a trippy expenditure. It gives me like an Eyes Wide Shut / performance vibe. So it's kind of trippy, but I dig it because it's the Weeknd. So you have to dig him. One thing I will say about the Weeknd, he takes risks. And from the moment that he popped on the stage and started writing songs for Drake, he has done very well for himself. So if he felt like he needed to put that mess on his face, okay. I'm glad it's not really your face.
Yeah, that part. That's the thing.
And he's creative genius. He has definitely a nice little his whole persona. I dig it. He's a vibe. He's definitely a whole mood.
He's cool because he's a vibe just because it's like he wants to be who he is. So if he wants to go super R&B, he'll go there. If he wants to go super poppy, he'll go there. It's just all about the choice that he chooses to make. And that versatility makes him a dynamic artist, in my opinion. I just think he's amazing. I really do. So last thing that I wanted to share with you guys, and I know it's been a thing. Okay. I think it's going to happen this time, ladies. I think this is it. The versus battle with Keisha Cole and Ashanti is back in. They are scheduled to go live on January 21st. It is listed on the Versus Instagram page, and it is specified that it is the final date. So that means regardless, come what may, those ladies will be in attendance and they'll be singing their latest greatest and or their former greatest. And we're gonna make it. It's gonna happen finally.
It's about time.
She is excited because she has been ready to argue with us about Ashanti for weeks. So finally we can get this fair and square and we can see who is the queen of sad songs. We get to find out very shortly.
Believe it when I see it. I'm just saying.
I mean, they've been teasing us. They have been teasing us, but I'm ready for Ashanti to go ahead and take her L and go home. I love you, but
what exactly, Laura, what exactly is in Tia's tea?
Oh no. I think it's haterade is what it is.
I don't know. I think so too.
I've never had that in my life.
Some hateration in the dancery over there.
Yeah.
Leave Mary out of this. You leave Mary out of this.
Yes, the queen of sad songs. I love Mary J. Blige. She just had a birthday recently. Happy birthday,
Happy birthday.
Yay.
She looks amazing.
I mean, shout out to all the Capricorns in the building, aka Nikita, and all of the fancy folk Capricorns who had birthdays this week. Tyrese, Mary J. Blige, Issa Rae, everybody. Like it's Capricorns everywhere, riddled with fanciness all over.
Michelle Obama. You can't forget Michelle Obama.
Michelle Obama's January 17th. Okay, so yes, there's they actually just recently announced that Insecure is going to be taping their last season.
No.
Are you guys going to be able to stand it? How are we going to live? If I'm being honest, I'm glad that it's ending.
No.
I love the show, but I want to see what more Issa has in her bag of tricks. And I know she's going to be able to create some amazing things. And she came, she saw, she conquered. And I'm glad that she gets to close the chapter on it and give us some more outstanding things.
Well I'll say this. over the weekend, there was a Twitter exchange with Issa Rae and Jasmine Sullivan.
Yes,
So
I saw
Jasmine
that.
Sullivan was like, she wanted to do like this little whole, you know, kind of hip hopper type of situation. And she tagged Issa, and Issa responded, say
Just
the
say
blank less.
That's
So
what
next
she
thing
said.
you know, they announcing that this is the last season of Insecure. First of all, I'm hurt.
Me
I'm
too.
hurt.
Me too.
Can't deal with the Lawrence and the whoever man of the hour she's with. I can't. Like either
Lawrence
it's gonna
is
work
the
out.
man of the hour. What do you mean?
I don't.
The season ended with Lawrence. Now he got a baby on the way, but they gonna make it through that. She know what she did when she cheated. She gonna have to give him that baby. Put that in the comments below. If you forgive your man for cheating, if you cheated on your man, y'all took a break after you cheated on him. He go do him and he get his extra chick pregnant. What do you do? Do you stay or do you go? I want to know your thoughts below.
I'm gonna just sip on that one.
Me too, girl. Because I ain't that mature. I'm just gonna tell you, I'm not that mature. I'm not staying because I'm gonna tell you the baby is ugly. I don't like you. I don't like the baby. I'm sorry. I'm not that mature.
You're so petty.
Well, guys, listen. Put the comments below. So I just want to go ahead and thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of SHEEN Hot Tea, brought to you by SHEEN Magazine. Also, speaking of, make sure you pick up this latest copy of SHEEN Magazine. You can get it from Books A Million. You can get it from Target or Target. You can get it from Walmart, Walgreens, Barnes and Nobles, anywhere books are sold, pretty basically, even maybe the airport, depending on where you at. But of course, you can go to sheenmagazine.com to get it. And it's your girl, Nikita Nietzsche, here with my lovely co-stars, Laura and Tia. And we will be back next week with another hot cup of tea.
Yes. Talk to you guys soon. Bye.
Bye.